Yo, what's going on, Washington Commanders fans? I'm back in another video, and today we have a lot of news to talk about. First, I want to get the Anthony Lynn stuff out of the way. Yes, he will be the new run game coordinator, and I think that is a great hire, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Also, we have hired the senior person, the senior director of player personnel. Um, he's now going to be the new assistant general manager under Adam Peters, and I'm going to tell you why that's a good hire as well. And lastly, Darryl Tapp, who had played 12 seasons, and one of those seasons was actually with Washington back in 2013. So yeah, I love the squad that we're building here in Washington. I'm going to tell you guys why I think that, but I'm going to start off with the Anthony Lynn news. So according to Adam Schefter, Anthony Lynn is joining Washington as the team's run game coordinator. Lynn spent the last 2 seasons as San Francisco's assistant head coach and running backs coach. Schefter reports Lynn is close with the new Commanders GM Adam Peters, who we obviously know he served as the 49ers assistant GM. Lynn is also tight with the new Commanders head coach Dan Quinn. So obviously, to build, your staff, most of the new head coaches that come in the league, they hire within who they know. And these coordinator positions are basically has nothing to do with like whether it's really just usually it's relationships. That's the word I was looking for, relationships, 9 times out of 10. But also, this is a very good hire. Obviously, he had the privilege of working with Christian McCaffrey. He was definitely going to get a job somewhere. And he's a former running back himself, as many of you guys know. He has countless coaching experience, serving as offensive assistant for numerous franchises, including a head coaching job with the Chargers from 2017 to 2020. And his record was a 33-31 record over those 3 seasons. Not very good head coach, but again, most of these guys are former head coach candidates that just didn't turn out right, but they're good as coordinators, which I don't mind. And then interesting, nugget from JP Finley. He said last year Anthony Lynn was 49ers run game coordinator. San Fran finished 8th in rush attempts, 3rd in rush yards, and 1st in rush touchdowns, which, as you guys know, Christian McCaffrey had 21 touchdowns. Very good year from him. 49ers averaged 4.8 yards per carry. Christian McCaffrey finished the year with 2,000 plus yards from scrimmage and 21 touchdowns. So yeah, great hire. I would give that a for sure. Great hire. Can't wait to see what he could do with this run game, because last year Eric Bieniemy just did not run the football. Obviously, Anthony Lynn isn't going to be our offensive coordinator, but I think you definitely will see improvements in this run game. And we might acquire, well, no, I know for a fact we're going to acquire a running back in this up and coming draft. Would love to see what he could do with a guy like Bucky Irvin, but whoever we get is going to be in very good hands regardless. And yeah, and now we're going on to the Darryl Tapp news. This guy's a bundle of energy. I've heard a lot of good things about him. Very well respected. And he's had a lot of jobs throughout his career. So this is obviously just not going to be handed to him. And he worked with Nick Bosa and Arden Key, who both had career highs. Not Nick Bosa, but Arden Key. He had a career high of 6.5 sacks on the year. And obviously Nick Bosa doing his thing, 15.5 sacks. So he's worked with some good guys on that defensive line. And yeah, Darryl Tapp is in his 3rd season as the 49ers assistant defensive line coach. And now he will take on the defensive line coaching job here in Washington, which I'm excited, because we need somebody to fire up this defensive line. We need that, and I can't wait to see who we acquire in the free agency and in the draft to pair up with not Arden Key, to pair up with Darryl Tapp, who spent 12 seasons in the league. As you know, he played with the Washington Redskins at the time in 2013. He's from the Virginia area, which is great. So yeah, let's get into it. And yeah, so I'm just gonna read off some stats and some of what his resume looks like. So Tapp and the 49ers defense ranked third in the NFL in 2021, allowing 310 total yards per game. San Francisco also was sixth in the NFL, surrendering 206 and a half passing yards per game. The 49ers forced 22 fumbles on defense in 2021, the most in the NFL and the most in a single season by the 49ers since 1994. Uh, that year, Nick Bosa finished the season leading the team with a career high 15 and a half sacks. Uh, and yeah, so the guy has developed some good talent, and Tapp also worked closely with the defensive line, uh, with defensive lineman Arden Key, who registered a career high 6.5 sacks on the year, and also he's in his 3 years with the 49ers, he did help Nick Bosa achieve the Defensive Player of the Year. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. This guy has a lot under his belt. Um, and yeah, prior to his time at Central Michigan, Tapp began coaching as an intern with the New Orleans Saints in 2017, working with the team's defensive line. Tapp saw Cameron Jordan set a then career high with 13 sacks to go along with 11 passes defensed, which were the most in the NFL long defensive lineman. Jordan was selected to the Pro Bowl and was named Associated Press first team All Pro for the first time in his career. And I'm going to get into his resume as a player so that you know this guy is about business. Tapp was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks in the second round, 63rd overall of the 2006 NFL draft. Throughout his 12-year NFL career with the Seahawks, Eagles, Redskins at the time, Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints, and also with his final year being in 2017 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He appeared in 165 games, 39 starts, and registered 316 tackles, 29 sacks, 20 passes defensed, and 11 forced fumbles. 10 of those were recovered by him, and 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. He also appeared in 6 postseason contests, 2 starts, and added 15 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. And like I said, he's a native of Chesapeake, Virginia, where he spent 4 years with Virginia Tech, and he was actually very good in college. Uh, Again, another good coach by Dan Quinn, another good hiring by Coach Dan Quinn, and he is building the God Squad in Washington, and I love what he's doing so far. Um, Hiring guys like Jason Simmons topped the cake for me. What else? Cliff Kingsbury, obviously. The Martin Mayhew news and the Lance Newmark news. So first, we're gonna get into the Martin Mayhew news. Martin Mayhew, according to Ian Rappaport, Martin Mayhew is transitioning to a new role as he'll be senior personnel executive and advisor to GM Adam Peters, which not very surprising as on the Washington Commanders website they did still have his name up there as a general manager. We were just waiting to see what position he would move up and move down to. So now he's got a little bit of a less, like he doesn't really have a voice in the front office now, which is pretty much a good thing, because I really feel like he didn't have, I don't think he was very good at building a roster. I don't think he had the tools to do that. And Executive VP Marty Herney will move into an advisory role. So yeah, he has nothing to do with any of the front office decisions now. And yeah, now we're going to get into the Lance Newmark news. According to Ian Rappaport, Commanders GM Adam Peters is hiring Lions Senior Director of Personnel Lance Newmark as the new assistant GM, a long time respected scout in Detroit. Newmark was instrumental in building the Lions, and also I heard that he did get an interview to become the Detroit Lions general manager in 2021. So yeah, he's been very played a very pivotal part of the Lions operation. And this is a quote from Brad Holmes back in 2021. He said, Lance Newmark has been outstanding all of the experience that he has. Um, yeah, he said more stuff, but I guess it cut out. Um, the Commanders have announced this move as official. Okay. This is already the second time this offseason that the Lions front office has been looked at by another team. So that just goes to show what the Lions have built there. And Lions have been scouted as a very respected team. So 49ers, any place from the 49ers or Detroit, I want them. I want them in this front office. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit of his backstory. Well, he served in the Detroit player personnel department for the past 26 seasons. He spent the last two as senior director of player personnel after a promotion from director of player personnel. His rise to that position um, comes in with the Lions' rise to the NFC contender, with Detroit riding a hot finish to 9-8 record in a narrow playoff miss in 2022 before reaching the NFC Championship game with a 12-5 regular season record in 2023. So that's pretty much going to do it. I really love the moves that this team is making in the direction that they're going in. And we have a really bright future in Washington. And hopefully, it's really looking like Washington is the place to be at now. In 2024, I never thought I would be saying that, but here we are with Dan Snyder and crew being gone, with Ron Rivera and crew being gone. We look even better than we did last year at the start of last season. So I'm very excited to see what we do. I hope players know that this is the place to be. And Adam Peters looks very serious about building a franchise here in Washington. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video for today. And hopefully, good things transpire in 2024 and 2025 for the Washington Commanders. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoy your Valentine's Day. And without further ado, peace.